Hey guys, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family's fine. I hope your loved ones are safe. Everything is okay with me. Here in London, we're just about to enter another round of lockdown starting tomorrow. But today, I'm going to head out and take some photos. I'll actually be using this camera over here, which is a Ricoh camera. But in this video, I'm actually talking about this camera. Now, this camera is the Yashica Microtec Zoom 90. It's from the same family of cameras as the famous Yashica cameras that we are used to, but it's kind of the forgotten, unloved cousin, because primarily probably because it's got a zoom lens, but probably for other reasons too. I was actually about to give this camera away in a whole bag of stuff that I was going to hand to charity the other day, and the Kyocera symbol caught my eye. I had no idea I had this camera, so I rescued it from the bunch, and I'm going to give you a bit of a spin before eventually either giving it away on this channel or taking it to charity. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm trying to embrace a minimalist lifestyle, which means I have way fewer things that I had last time you heard from me, including cameras. Anyway, let's check out this camera. This is one of the things that I look out for these days because it's a consumable, and apart from film, this is the other consumable that these cameras need, and having the right battery that is modern and available is a lot more important sometimes than the camera itself, especially if it's a cheap point and shoot like this one. So the Yashica Microtec Zoom 90, like I said before, is a power zoom, auto zoom, autofocus point and shoot camera, and it uses the lovely CR123 battery, which is a lithium battery that is widely available everywhere. So let's pop this in. Okay, let's turn that on. Yes, that's that unmistakable sound of the zoom. Let's go. So it's a 30mm to a 90mm zoom lens that it's got, and it's got that 70mm mark. There's actually another version of this camera that is the 70, and that only has 30 to 70 zoom. I think most other things are the same, apart from the fact that this has more flash modes that I'm going to talk about later. Right, stop the show. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I kept referring to the lens as 30 to 90mm. It's in fact a 38 to 90mm. So pardon me, I'm a little bit rusty. All right, back to the video. So if you look at the back there, it's got these modes. You can see that macro icon is illuminated there on the LCD because I've got it on the 70mm at the moment. But when I pull it back to 30mm, the macro is gone, which is understandable. So now the buttons at the back, you have this one which cycles through the flash modes. So right now it's at auto flash. I could go to auto flash with red eye, flash off, flash on, and infinity lock. So the second button there in the middle is the rewind button. So you need a little pin to depress that, and when you do, it rewinds the film back into your canister. And then you have this button here which cycles through the self-timer modes. So you have the normal self-timer. This gives you 10 seconds to run and pose. This is a self-timer with 3 shots, so it will take 3 frames when the shutter releases. And you have, at this mode, the camera takes 3 shots when you release the shutter. I wonder if you could do it with that film. Cool. And here we have the continuous shutter release. So what this does, it takes 1 frame. Sorry, what it does is takes a frame and a half every second. So I don't think you can do it with that film. That's supposed to be 1.5 frames per second. Right, I'd have to load it with film to demonstrate that, which I won't because I don't want to waste film. What else have we got? That's it. So those are the settings you have at the back. Very, very simple. Of course, the film is loaded the usual way. Pop open the back by pulling this lever. What's it doing? Okay. Pop this open. And the film goes right at the back there. You close it. It auto winds to position. And you're pretty much ready to go. One thing about this camera, that it's got a nice viewfinder. It's kind of small though, but it has, I don't know if you can see it, it's got parallax guide, but it also has a zooming viewfinder that adjusts to the zooming of the lens, which is very handy, because that could, you could end up with some serious parallax or completely missing the image when at 70 millimeters. Now, as you can hear, it's slightly noisy when you're zooming, and the zoom is a little slow for most people these days. Back in the day, that was perfectly okay and acceptable. But now, that would be seen as a bit slow. What I do like about it, though, is the shutter is actually relatively silent compared to some other cameras. Okay, so that fired because I'm in flash, auto, and macro. The shutter release is at the top as expected. It's a nice sort of flash flush button. It's right next to the on off button. And this is the zoom in lever that goes from wide angle or landscape, as it shows here, to all the way to macro and telephoto. This is the gray, sort of weird, sort of silvery and black version. Most of the time you will find this camera in black, and in some parts of the world it's referred to as the Lynx 90. It's got a companion or a relative, that is the Zoom 70, that is referred to as the Lynx 70 in different parts of the world. So like I said earlier on, we're having lockdowns and the pandemic and etc. I haven't really been able to get out and do the videos that I want to, but I'm going to try and keep this channel going. I'm going to be doing camera tutorials that may or may not include photographs. For instance, I have no photos to show you from this camera, even though I've shot a couple of rolls now, but I haven't developed them because I don't have the means. Yeah, so that's our life these days. I hope you're doing well. Keep safe. And we'll get through this one day. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.